Mr. County Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have two items for the board's consideration this morning. Item number 10 is a grant that the county has received from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, from their Department of Homeland Security as part of the 2015 Assistance to Firefighters Grant process. This is one-time revenue to the county of $1,436,273. It requires a 10% cash match of $143,627. This grant will fund the purchase of new self-contained breathing apparatus and associated equipment. This was one of the board's 2016 federal appropriation requests through this process through FEMA. We acknowledge and state our appreciation to Senator Bill Nelson and Congressman Ross, Rooney, Webster, and Grayson for their letters of support that accompanied our grant application. Polk County Fire Rescue had to replace approximately 200 obsolete or damaged self-contained breathing apparatus and equipment. This is equipment that is worn by firefighters entering hazardous conditions, either due to smoke, toxic gases, oxygen deficiency, and other conditions that would be necessary to protect their respiratory system. The standards are set by the National Fire Protection Association and OSHA for use in atmospheres identified as immediately dangerous to life and health. Polk County Fire Rescue units were close to 11 years old. They were not compliant with current NFPA or OSHA standards, and due to age and wear, more than 80% required significant repairs after the 2015 flow tests. I mentioned earlier the amount of the grant is just over $1.4 million, so with the cash match, we have a total of $1,579,900 available to purchase replacement equipment. These funds are available through FEMA through May 26, 2017. Given the board's recent discussions about the fiscal year 16-17 budget, I would state that this is a very timely grant for the county to receive, as it allows the board the opportunity to make other needed investments in Polk County Fire Rescue. The source of funding for the cash match is General Fund Reserve for Contingency, so I would ask for the board to approve the 2015 Assistance to Firefighters Grant from FEMA, Department of Homeland Security, the associated resolution, and the budget transfer for the cash match.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
After the vote, I would comment.
Okay. Having no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Commissioner Lindsey.
Mr. Chairman, in light of recent events and a lot of what our firefighters and first responders and law enforcement go through, I was intrigued. Back up to the first slide. Right over that individual's left shoulder was a sign that I didn't notice earlier. It says, "The call is over. Are you over the call?" That just struck me. We take for granted these folks running in, we're all running out, responding and seeing the things that they see on a daily basis, whether it's a drowning child or a burned individual or someone experienced what we saw last weekend. We overlook this, and I'm glad to see there's a program that recognizes that. Chief, is there anything that you want to embellish on that, the lightness that I apologize that I didn't know it, or I just took it for granted until I saw that poster and that photograph?
Keith Williams, Deputy Chief, Polk County Fire Rescue. I appreciate the comments on that. I've been in the service for a number of years and seeing a lot of things over the years. That sign is very true. I can close my eyes right now and picture things that I saw 30 years ago as vividly as I'm looking at each one of you up here on the podium here. That's the good thing about our department is we do have a CISM program in place, and just like in the case of what happened in Orlando last week, that fire chief and that organization made it mandatory for their personnel that had been on the scene, almost 100 members of that department, go through the debriefing. that call will linger with them for years, and it doesn't necessarily impact them immediately, but with a lot of things that have happened over the years, it becomes a cumulative effect, and then that one toxic event, that one instance, you get the flashbacks, almost like you have a PTSD that the military is so involved in today. It's very common in the fire service. It's something that we always have to remember and take care of each other. And this program is one way to do that.
That's great.
Thank you, and I apologize for not being more aware of it.
No problem.
Mr. County Manager?
Mr. Chairman, to tie into what Commissioner Lindsay said, I had a conversation yesterday with one of our chaplains who has been assisting the first responders in the Orlando mass shooting, and I can certainly confirm what Keith just said, that have a great admiration for what our first responders do and what they go through, and I'm very glad to see that we put a focus on that in Orlando, and Orange County certainly has, and glad that one of our chaplains could contribute in a small way to helping these first responders through this terrible event that they experienced over weekend before last.
Thank you. That's good to know that we had someone over there.